So does the First Amendment even exist anymore? We have a White House telling us no. Will we have the Supreme Court telling us no as well? I want to play a couple of things that happen in the Supreme Court and outside concerning the court case now that is involving this web designer who says she cannot make a website, with gay marriage announcements and everything else because she's a Christian. Well, let's start here. This is the Colorado Attorney General that is insisting on television here that even if you have moral objections, you have to do the work. Listen to this. Cut 3.
You talk about the slip, I'm shorthanded, but it's the slippery slope argument, right? If this happens, then what's the next domino to fall? There are 29 states, including Colorado, that have non-discrimination laws. What is the impact if the court sides with Smith? What is the impact for, makeup artists, hairstyle, people in this sort of, that consider themselves having expressive professions? What is the actual big implication here if this case doesn't go your way, as you see it?
Well, first off, we're going to start having to figure out where to draw that line. If someone makes specialized lattes, do they have an expressive interest in saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to serve Mormons because I don't believe in the Mormon religion? That set of hypotheticals could become reality if we lose this case.
Now, hang on just a second. Isn't this what cancel culture is doing? Aren't these businesses that disagree with your political view, not a status as a human being, but your political view, aren't they canceling you? So aren't they already having the right to do it? You are just trying to take away the religious right. Because I don't want to cancel anyone, but I'm not going to work for MSNBC. They're never going to hire me, but I'm not going to go to work for them. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to say those things. If I worked at MSNBC, well, then I had made a choice to take that job because that's what they do. Do I have a right to get on MSNBC and do the exact opposite? Don't I have a right to my own conscience and what I deeply believe, especially when it comes to faith? Now, listen to Ketanji Brown. She got a lot of heat on this. She was talking about It's a Wonderful Life from the stand yesterday.
Public business. I'm a photographer. My belief is that, I'm doing It's a Wonderful Life scenes. That's what I'm offering. Okay? I want to do video depictions of It's a Wonderful Life. And I'm knowing that movie very well. I want to be authentic, and so only white children and families can be customers for that particular product. Everybody else I'll give to everybody else. I'll sell them anything they want, just not the It's a Wonderful Life depictions. I'm expressing something, right, for your purposes, that speech. What about, what's the other step?
Sit down. You're a moron. What a moron. First of all, yes, I am making It's a Wonderful Life scenes. That is clearly a vision that we've seen. We can put the standard side by side. So if I'm creating that scene, yeah, I can discriminate and say, no, I need white people in this because I'm recreating that scene. Now, if I'm updating that scene, if I'm showing It's a Wonderful Life in today's America, well, then I could include and should include everyone. I don't even know what she's talking about here. First of all, It's a Wonderful Life is not a religious objection. If I have a religious objection, I can't change what I believe. Just like you can't change your skin color, I cannot change a deeply held religious belief.
But it's true, first of all, but it's also an additional thing, right? Like the religious part of this gives you additional protection beyond Correct. What is already there. you can't compel someone to say something. That is like really a bright line in our country. You can't take it to this example. If Kanye West decided to open up a website that said, "Hey, I will customize birthday songs for you," which, by the way, given his career arc, may be a real possibility very, very soon.
He's working on the pancake recipe now.
Right. And so let's just say he's like, hey, I will customize your happy birthday rap. Just give me your name. And then someone decides, hey, in fact, how about do my bar mitzvah instead? Does he have to do that? The answer to that is no. You can't ask, despite his anti-Semitic views being abhorrent to most, you cannot force him to sing a positive song about a bar mitzvah because that would be compelling his artistic expression. You cannot do that. It's already there, whether it's a religious belief or not. Just because
in his case, it is both.
Well, it might be.
In his case, it is both.
You could argue, I guess, the black Israelite, maybe that's where he is. But I mean, even if it's it's not about religion at all, you still can't make somebody do that. Add on to that the religious protection. It's a whole nother layer. I mean, really, a lot of this case has been less about religion and more about the idea of whether you can compel speech. There was a famous case that happened recently where it was a religious institution. I can't remember which one it was, but was saying, hey, there's a new state law that says if you're going to counsel people on pregnancy, you have to post a poster that says abortion is an option and here's how you can get one if you want to. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't force a religious organization who doesn't believe in abortion to post that. You can't compel them to speech. And that speech was defined as posting a poster. This has been a bright line forever. And hopefully this Supreme Court will actually have the balls to cast a very broad net here to make sure this is protected for everyone. You should never be forced to say or express something you don't believe.
So here's what Barrett said yesterday. She said, Canada's designer declined to serve a Catholic club because they disagree with their views on marriage. The Colorado attorney responded, yes, because that's not status-based discrimination. Wait, hang on just a second. She went in and said, wait, but the designer can't decline to do a same-sex marriage design. Yes, because same-sex marriage is inextricably intertwined with status, and religion isn't. Hold on just a second. There is a whole right that was defined as a very bright line, as Stu just said. So it's not like we're looking and trying to read in, well, we've got to have freedom of speech, and does freedom of religion fall into that? No, freedom of religion is entirely separate. And so it is protected clearly. There is no troublesome comma in this one. It is clearly protected. But if you want to argue that you have the right for a designer, a web designer, to discriminate against a Catholic church, which they do have that right. I don't want to do your design. Great. I'm glad you told me that you hate us because I don't want you designing our website. I don't think you'll do a good job. If I can decline the church, why is it the church that has a deeply held religious belief? I mean, my church was founded on the family and the sacredness of men and women and gender. Gender is ordained by God before birth. There is no confusion. That's like 40 years old in my church. I have to change now? No, because I can't change because the government tells me I have to change. This is something I believe to the core. And I either believe it or I don't. Now, you think that I can just change my belief because you're right. No. I believe God has set these standards, not man, not you, not me. I can't change the standards. Neither can you. And as long as I'm consistent in that, I have a right to assert my religious exemption from your little rule. I'm sorry. My faith tells me I cannot go there. If you have a religious objection to war and you are a pacifist and it's a religious exemption, you don't have to go fight in war because you're a Quaker and it is a deeply held religious exemption and it's a deeply held belief.
That's a great example too. Like we have think of what that particular exemption is. We are saying our country is under attack. Our nation may fall. It's the literal most important thing that a government can do, right?
Without your nation, without people fighting this war, we could fall to the Nazis and you won't have the right to your religion.
Right.
That's the argument against.
And even with that scenario,
yes,
we say to the Quakers, you know what? You don't have to do it. Your religion's more important than the war. Your religion's more important than the entire country falling or not. We don't
have the right,
because we don't have the right
between you and God.
And yet here we are having an argument about lattes.
Yes.
We're acting as if wedding websites, which are they even a thing? I don't know. I guess I got married too early. But wedding websites, we're acting as if that's as important. We've said the actual defense of our country to Nazis is not important enough to overwhelm this right. And we're talking about lattes and photographers and cupcakes. And this is completely ridiculous. And then you add on the free speech element of this, which is, what this case seems to be surrounding more than anything else. Whether the government can say you must say 2 + 2 = 5. With the way they're describing this right, the government could tell anyone to say anything. And
yes.
Either one of these rights is clearly defined. Either one of them overwhelms the left's case on this. And they have both of them working in conjunction here. This is not a close call.
This is a freedom-breaking decision. If they decide in favor of Colorado, this is a freedom break. You have no right anymore. You'll have no right. And this done in conjunction with what they just passed, the Defense of Marriage Act and Interracial Marriage Act. This is what they're hoping for. This is what they're shooting for, to be able to shut down anyone that objects. It's not about living together and tolerating one another. It is about forcing everyone to do exactly what they say when they say it, and have you accept and profess a belief you don't have. That's a dictatorship. That is Nazism, communism. It is a religion. We are headed towards a theocratic autocracy. Their religion is just of Gaia and of Baal and whatever it is that worships the earth and slaughter and perversion of children.